I wanted to ask you, as a former player, you look at this season, and to me, it's been the strangest season that and listen, I was with another team for a long time. You were with another team for a long time, but I have no problem admitting I kept a very close eye on the Giants, day to day, how they were doing. And this is such an odd season where, on June 15th, or middle of June, you're in first place playing really good baseball. And then it just falls apart. So what is your take just from this season as we see it on the screen, the roller coaster season, from just trying to explain what the hell happened? We know what's happening now and it's great, but what happened?
Well, first of all, when I was with another team for a long time back east, I would watch the Giants games. And Dwayne and Mike would put me to sleep every night. I would literally lay my laptop on the side of the bed with the MLB package and have my head on the pillow and be watching Giants games because it's on the West Coast. And
I got caught. Yeah, I got caught a couple times in the A's booth watching the Giants. They didn't like that at all. They were not.
But I don't know what happened this year. I have my theories and my philosophies, but I'm not in the clubhouse every day. I get there at 4:00. These guys get here at noon. The coaches get there earlier than that. But everybody in the clubhouse is saying the same thing. And I've had friends say, well, Logan Webb said he doesn't know what happened. And Willie Adames says he doesn't know what happened. And Bob Melvin says he doesn't know what happened. Sometimes you just don't know what happens. It's that there's no big cover up here like this guy hates this guy and this guy's Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds are fighting. And there's nothing going on in that clubhouse that I've seen or we would have heard of because you're with the team all the time on the road. It's just one of those things where they played so well in spring training. They had such a good vibe. April and May were great. They went on the road. They beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. They're playing good, fundamentally sound baseball. They're doing all the things on offense. They're getting guys over, getting guys in. They're making the plays. They're playing exactly how Buster Posey drew it up. Mm-hmm. And then all our expectations went through the roof. The fan base expectations went through the roof, and maybe their expectations went through the roof. Or all of a sudden they're like, we're 1 game back of the Dodgers. We just got Devers. Here we go. And then they got tight. And as a group, when you walk into that clubhouse, and right now, if you walk into that clubhouse, they're probably hooting and hollering. The foggers going, the DJs going, they're celebrating wins. It's loose, and you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want when you're winning. It's funny on the bus, on the plane. You don't have to worry about what you say. But when you're struggling at the highest level, when the almighty W is the ultimate thing, it can get weird, man. It can get quiet. Guys can start pointing fingers. If anybody could point a finger this year, it's Justin Verlander. I mean, he's had so many 5 or 6 times where he's left the game with a lead, and he's trying to get to 300 wins, and he hasn't done that. So it's just it might be one of those explainable things. I would love to tell you, hey, I got some dirt, man. This guy hates this guy. these guys don't like Bob. It's none of that, dude. It just happened. And I've been in baseball a long time. And I've been around it every single day for a long time. And I've never seen a team with so much talent just kind of lose their mojo. And I think it might be as simple as that. They lost their mojo. And then what happens is you try to press and grind.
Sure.
And God, we got to get it back. Come on. And then you got to play loose, man. You got to play free and easy. If you start clouding the brain, you start pressing, start swinging at pitches you normally don't swing at. You say, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to be the guy that changes this. And like Elliot Ramos said, you just pass the baton. When you're going good, you trust the guy behind you. He trusts the guy behind him. If I'm not going to get my pitch here, I know he's going to do it. But if you're all struggling, it's like, I'm going to do it. Watch me break us out of this. And I think they went through that for a while.
Yeah, and what I wanted to ask you, FP, is all the stuff you're talking about. When you were a player, what happens as a player when a team gets in a funk like this? And I don't know if you ever went through a 2-month period like this as a team you were on, but you were in the clubhouse, you were a big leaguer for a long time. When you see this happening, and when a team sees this happening where wait a minute, things are going off the rails here, and you see the season slipping away, and you keep grinding and you keep playing hard and nothing goes your way. And now this has been going on for 3 weeks. Now it's been going on for a month. Now it's been going on for 6 weeks, and our season is completely gotten away from us. What is going through your mind as a player? Is it about hold on to your confidence as best you can? Are you looking around at the clubhouse to make sure guys are stay with me, man, stay with me? And I wanted to ask you that because I'm curious about what it's like as a player when this is happening.
Well, you said a couple of months. I did that for 7 years personally.
No, you did not. You did.
That was you're talking about every day for me for 7 years.
7 years is a long time. You did good.
Thank you. I think you just got to stay together as a group. You got to go out. I don't see guys out as much on the road. I know I'm sounding old right now, and it's a different time, and there's smartphones and stuff, and all the stuff we did in Oakland in 2001. If they had smartphones then, we'd all be, yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing. It was Motley Crue meets baseball that year.
But 25-man roster if that was going on back then.
But you could go to dinners and hang out and solve all the world's problems and solve your team's problems at dinner. We used to sit. Murph used to have a big orange cooler full of Coors Lights, and we go kiss the wives and kids goodbye, and we'd sit in the clubhouse. JT, Richie, Billy Miller, Rob Nen, other guys, and we'd sit there for 2 hours after the game, and we'd talk about baseball, and we talk about what we could do to be better. And we would make fun of Dusty sometimes. Can you believe what Dusty did tonight? But we were solving all the problems, and we were together. In Oakland, I've told you these stories many times. We go out 18 guys deep, and we'd have a good time. So if you just go to the yard, struggle, go back to your room, sometimes that'll just eat you alive. Yeah. And you have to have some sort of release and some sort of outlet. Now, I'm saying all this, and I don't know if these guys do that or not. I don't. I do know that it's a different time. But how do you solve that? I mean, if they knew, they would have. But you just got to keep grinding every day. And you got to control the controllables. And the controllables are your process. And if the outcome it isn't equaling your expectations, you have to tinker with the process. And I think that goes for a player individually, looking yourself in the mirror. It goes for coaches. It goes for an organization. If the outcome doesn't meet your expectations, you have to look at the process, and you have to look at it hard and say, and what I am doing is my routine. Am I just going to go through the same routine all year long if it's not working? Am I going to do the same things every day if it's not working? You got to change it up. And whether it means going out with the boys, whether it means like I'm going to get there later today and think less about it. Felipe Alou, and I know I talk about him a lot, used to say, like, when you're struggling offensively, you can work yourself into a deeper slump by working too hard and getting in the cage too much. And then all of a sudden your bat becomes heavy. He would say, like, when he was struggling, he would just like pick up his bat in his locker, put it back down, go out and play the game. So it's different for everybody, though. Sometimes you get so ingrained in your routine, you're so OCD, you do the same thing every day. But if the outcome is the same every day, then why wouldn't you think about doing something out of the box?
Yeah. Now, did you ever have, and you don't have to name the name, but you had to have a teammate or two when the team was struggling or they were struggling where you were like, oh boy, oh man, I'm worried about this guy because we may be losing him. Right? I mean, not everybody handles it great. Big leagues is tough, man. I know I used to tell this story, FP. My brother Dwayne, when he was with the Indians, they had a guy by the name of Joe Charbonneau, who was the rookie of the year in the American League, right, in 1980. He was really good, big power hitter. He was a little crazy, and he came out of nowhere. And in Cleveland, they were looking for homegrown stars, and they had this guy. He was great, right? And then the next year he was banged up a little bit, and he didn't do anything. And before you know it, he's out of the league. And I remember the thing with him, they said, was he could turn an 0 for 4 into an 0 for 20 just like that. Because mentally, he, and I'm not criticizing Joe Charbonneau, I'm just using as an example where, all of a sudden the struggles were there, and sometimes maybe a guy doesn't know how to get out of it mentally. But you had to see some guys that you were worried about, right?
Well, it's big boy sports, man. I mean, you got to be mentally tough to get here, and you got to be even more mentally tough to stay here. Didn't Joe Charbonneau open a beer bottle with his eyelid or something like that? Eye socket. He just stick it in. That's why I was doing that.
He drank beer through his nose, and he was a character.
Oh, my kind of guy.
Look it up. Joe Charbonneau, 1980. He was great for 1 year, and he won the American League Rookie of the Year. And yes, be opening beer bottles with his eye socket. Don't try it at home.
Yeah, but you got to be able to deal with adversity. A lot of times right now in today's game, Glenn, if you can play, you're in the big leagues. If you can pitch, you're in the big leagues.
Yeah.
That's why I think AAA is a little bit watered down right now. So a lot of guys are learning at the highest level, and they've never failed before. Tough place to learn, tough place to fail. In front of 40,000 people every night, every game's on TV. You got the MLB network. They all get on their phones in their locker after the game. They look at social media. They get death threats from all the gamblers. I talk to guys. I can't believe some of the stuff they go through that we didn't have to back in the day. So you got to be mentally tough, man. This is big boy baseball. So you said not to say names, so I'm gonna. I don't think he'll mind. Do you remember when Eric Burns? You were in Oakland. Went like
well, right, yeah, a little bit. I started there, and Burnsy was, he was there, and then soon after that he was gone. But yeah. I mean, I know Burnsy a little bit.
He went like 2 for 58 or 1 for 58, and I'm texting everybody, and they're like, he's sucking his thumb in the fetal position, in the corner of the dugout, like he's almost in tears. Like that was when he was young, but he learned how to overcome that. I think adversity is a wonderful thing because I've learned more in my life going through hard times than I have. Anybody could just cruise through the day with 3 hits or cruise through the day and everything's going your way. But, I've learned more from my struggles than my successes. Yeah. And I used to take those as fuel in the gas tank, man. When people said I was too small, too short, too slow, too this or too that, a lot of people say, oh, you're right. But there's the other people say, like, screw you, I'm going to show you wrong. And that was gas in my tank. Whenever anybody said I couldn't do something, I learned how to make that fuel for me and prove people wrong with a chip on my shoulder. And that's the way, that's the way I played. I wasn't the most well-liked guy in the league on the other side, but I just hope that my teammates appreciate it because I showed up to play every single day. And I loved when people said I sucked. I loved when people said I couldn't do it. That was just, I got to a point where I almost wanted that more than I got uncomfortable with like people saying you're good.
The Glenn Kuiper Show, All Giants, is brought to you by the Kehrig Real Estate Team. Since 1978, the Kehrig Real Estate Team has been helping families buy and sell homes across the Bay Area. With deep local roots and a legacy of client-first service, they are committed to delivering results with honesty, care, and expertise. Whether you're moving up, downsizing, or making your first purchase, trust the Kehrig Real Estate Team to guide you home. The Kehrig Real Estate Team, serving the Bay Area with pride for over 45 years. Contact Mike Kehrig today for a free home sale or purchase consultation. Call 925-548-4132 or go to the website at kehrigteam.com. Show is also brought to you by Tilden Properties. As an investor, one of the best places to put your money is California's multifamily real estate. When investing with Tilden Properties, you see cash flow with quarterly dividends while building equity in the real estate market. Bay Area based and family owned, Tilden Properties has been building investment wealth for their clients since 2008. Go to the website at tildenproperties.com or call 925-209-8558.